Hello.
You're
Hi, Mark. How
roasting.
are you? Hi,
I'm good.
everyone.
I'm
How's
good.
everyone doing?
I'm
Fire
good.
away.
I'm good. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's game, obviously, and I think we have one more person coming in.
Yeah, we have indeed. Hello.
Hello, guys. Hello, lady. How are you guys doing?
Good. Thank you. And how are you?
I'm good. I'm
I
good.
see you're in your famous area. You're going to be doing, the analysis, pre-show, post-show.
Yeah. Like the guys would say, I'm in my press box, my
Yeah,
press conference box.
press box. Yeah.
Mark, how are you doing?
I'm good. I've got man flu.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Sorry.
it's all right. It's all right. Yeah, so I'm feeling sorry for myself.
Cool.
So,
So, yeah, let's do this. So, how do you feel about tomorrow? How do you feel about? Let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the top. Number one, right? Aaron Ramsdale returning to the Emirates.
Yeah.
Because bearing
Well,
in mind, Raya is not number one. Yeah, he's still number 22. So technically, Ramsdale was still one before he left.
it's going to be interesting, and it could either go two ways for me. And it's either that he's going to come in with a point to prove and do absolutely amazing, and it's just going to be like kind of like last week's game where the goalkeeper, I call it a birthday game. It's his birthday and he just has the best game of his life, and I felt that last week against Leicester. So this could happen to Ramsdale. If Arsenal pick up the 3 points, score a couple of goals, I'll be happy if he has a good game. Or it's going to get to him, and if it gets to him, then you might see some really bad mistakes. So I'm kind of unsure how that's going to go, but yeah, I just kind of hope for the best for Ramsdale in one sense, but obviously I want Arsenal to win and take home the 3 points. So conflicting issues, I guess.
Mark, where is this affiliation coming? Where is this love coming from? I Like I shouldn't expect an Arsenal fan feeling so compassionate towards an
Because
ex
he's
player.
no longer Arsenal.
No,
Okay, bear that in mind, Mark. He's no longer
Yeah,
Arsenal.
I get it. I get it. I do get it. He's no longer Arsenal, but however, I do like Ramsdale, and he didn't leave on bad terms. He didn't. He done a great job for Arsenal when he was here. He didn't leave on bad terms. Yeah, I'm not
if,
gonna think badly of
Mark,
him.
Mark, if you want the best game for Aaron Ramsey, it's not against Arsenal. I want Aaron Ramsey to be as shit as possible tomorrow, to be the worst goalkeeper on earth I've ever seen in my life. And Arsenal battered Southampton like 9-0. It's none of my business. What I expect Arsenal to do is just to get a 3 point and win. If Ramsey wants to be better, it should be better against the likes of Manchester City, Fulham, West Ham, wherever he's playing against, not against us. If that compassion you have, I understand that aspect of it because it's an Arsenal player, but it should be against the other teams, not against us. So I don't want him to have his best game, and I'm praying he should have his worst game in his career tomorrow. That's me.
You're harsh.
How do you think the fans are going to take to him?
I think the fans will. I think he'll get a standing ovation. I think the majority of the people inside the stadium will be feeling exactly the way I do towards him. I
Can I
don't
just
think.
say I'll clap, but I won't stand up?
Right,
Max,
okay.
standing ovation for what? Exactly. What did Aranza win for
No,
Arsenal?
because they're going to announce, right? Welcome back to Aaron Ramsdale.
I hope the announcer tomorrow doesn't make such announcement tomorrow.
He's going to make it.
Daniel,
They're going to make it. They always do.
I'm just I don't see any reason why Aranza should be clapped or
Because
should
he's
be
an
welcomed.
ex-player and he
He's
was very well
ex-player.
liked.
Like
So they're going to
if
just welcome him back,
yeah,
and then
if they want to welcome him after Arsenal have collected the 3 points, after Arsenal have battered Southampton, they can clap him and say, "Oh, thanks
they
for
won't.
coming."
They won't announce it afterwards. They'll do it before.
That's what I
It's
would.
it's
That's
it's just
what I
it's
want.
just it's just them. It's just the Arsenal showing respect. That's all it is.
Am I being too harsh on Ramsey?
No,
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. No,
no,
you're not. I don't think
he
so.
is.
No, Mark. No, he's
He
not. He's
is
not. No, no,
100%,
no.
This
Sorry.
bro.
this geezer almost made us lose to I think Bournemouth last season. Also against Brentford, this geezer was part of the players that made us lost the Carabao Cup. So I don't expect us clapping around. What did Ramsey do for Arsenal? Nothing.
Mate, so that's what you remember. You remember the goals that we conceded with
Mm,
Ramsdale on the goal. What about the saves that he made?
I'm just concerned about tomorrow game between
Same there, kick
Arsenal.
him, kick
The,
him.
Oh, I don't know about that.
the
I'm loving
Arsenal
the controversy.
the Arsenal versus Southampton. That's my priority. My priority is not on Aaron Ramsey. I don't care what about the fans feel towards Aaron Ramsey. After the 90 minutes, if you want to show love to Aaron Ramsey, that's cool. But before the game, I don't care. I don't want to
Yeah,
feel those emotional attachment to the game. Or for my, we tend to do this a lot, man. In our fan base, we tend to show this affiliation to players who didn't. What did they do for Arsenal? Nothing. So I don't expect the fans to be clapping and singing. I don't know. They know.
yeah.
After the game, if you want to show compassion, you want to show love, that's good. I'll clap in after Arsenal has won the game tomorrow. But I'm not expecting Ramsey to come tomorrow and start trying to be like Peter Schmeichel,
Yes.
Schweinsteiger, all this goalkeeper Buffon together in one person. No, I expect him to be as shit as ammonia tomorrow. We collect all 3 points. We're done.
Do you, on the other point, do you think that the fans that are behind the goal will also be taunting him?
I don't, we
You're going
we
to
as
say it. Go on, say it.
we as an Arsenal fan, there's a class when it comes to supporting Arsenal,
Yeah,
and I think the class of Arsenal and the class of the fans will not make the fans jeer him tomorrow or boo him tomorrow.
yeah.
But I don't think that they're going to clap for him while the game is going on.
No.
So I don't think the fans are going to jail him tomorrow or abuse him. No, we are not like that. We are Arsenal. We are classy people, so we don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably the likes of Chelsea, these guys, they can do those shit. They're not Arsenal.
Okay, cool. Because that's where I want to stop now. That's it. We're done with him. He's gone. Swipe left. So,
Good.
um, who would you like to see starting from the academy players that have moved up? They're now first team players. They're no longer academy. Who would you like to see starting? And do you reckon they will start?
For me, if I'm answering this, I would love to see Ethan obviously start. I think that he for me is chapping on the manager's door so loud at
Yeah,
this moment in time. I didn't think he was this ready, and I
yeah,
didn't think he was this good
yeah,
either on this. So for him to have the impact, especially like last week against Leicester, was unreal. But my favourite one out of the academy, and I know Seema, I think I've said it, but it's Lewis Kelly,
yeah.
and he got his Champions League debut, and I'm just I don't think Arteta will start him, but these are maybe the games where we should be starting, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah,
I think these are the games. Well, no disrespect to Southampton, but we should be bringing these kids through and getting the minutes under their belt in these games. So I would love for it to happen. I would absolutely love. Obviously, I was at the Bolton game, as you were, and to see these kids play was a breath of fresh air. It was
it was
fantastic.
exciting actually to watch them play.
It
Yeah,
was, it was just, it just shows how brilliant and how far our club has come that we're
yeah,
bringing this standard a kid through
yeah.
the academy and want it to continue. So, I would hope both would start tomorrow.
Mm,
And I actually think both are good enough to start.
yeah,
However, will Arteta do that? I'm,
yeah. Bearing in mind that we've got Tommy getting fit because he's been training with the team.
yeah.
Zinchenko's apparently nearly there, according to what Arteta said today. And then Timber is okay because we've seen him training. And Odegaard is a bit iffy, so we're not going to expect him probably till November. How do you think that will fare?
Is that Daniel?
For me,
Yeah, sorry, Daniel. Yeah.
oh well, I know some of you. I know you've swiped the Ramsey comment out of here, but I'm seeing something on the comment section. Welcoming back, Legion. How is Aaron Ramsey a Legion of Arsenal Football Club? Come on, guys, you should learn to understand what it means to be a legend. That aside, tomorrow game, um, to the original question, you say who I would love to see start tomorrow, or who I think Mikel Arteta would like to start tomorrow. For me, I think Josh Nichols is the one I think will start tomorrow if there's an academy player to start tomorrow because of the likes of Aaron Timber and Benjamin White being injured at the moment and not fully fit because there's no way Mikel Arteta is gonna no way he's gonna drop Trossard and there's no way he's gonna drop Martinelli. So and the
No.
fact that the international break is coming up, this guy just need to give just 90 minutes of their 90 minutes of football for the rest of this week before they meet up with the international team. So if there's any player I think Mikel Arteta would like to start, it will be Josh Nichols for right back because of the injuries to Ben White and Tomiyasu not fit and Yuri Timber
Well,
being taken off.
Tommy was training with the team today.
Yeah, he was training with the team, but I don't think he's match fit enough to be
Okay.
thrown into such game.
Yeah. I mean, I like how the squad is going. I like the fact that there's going to be competition to get into the team week on for game on game. Who do you think will stand out more than for Arteta to say, right, you're in, you can sit on the bench and we'll have you in later?
Is it for the academy player or the team entirely?
Overall, because they're all going to be fighting. Marino's back. He's showing, he's eager. He was really eager. Obviously, we know Calafiori, he's just hitting it. He's just hitting every spot that Mikel's looking for.
I know a lot of our fan base try to call him Uncle Partey, but I think Thomas Partey is one player I think Mikel Arteta is not going to drop.
He's also up, isn't it? His contract. They're saying that there's talks that
Yeah,
he's going to sign again. He's not going to
yeah.
leave us. And I was convinced last season that this guy had to go.
Mark, you remember them calling him Uncle Partey that the legs are gone of Thomas Partey.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
But
know something? I've got a thing about Thomas Partey. Before we come back to Seema, I don't want to take off
No,
track.
it's all right. Don't.
But Thomas Partey Arteta came out and said that he's came back this season and he's looked fitter, sharper than ever before. And yes, he did have corrective surgery, but there's a part of me that thinks, because I love Thomas Partey, I think a fit Thomas Partey is one of Arsenal's best players, if I'm being perfectly honest. That is the God's honest truth. But there is a side to me that thinks, is it because you're in the final year of your contract, you're showing professionalism, where you're coming back and all of a sudden you're able to stick 6 games together in a row?
Yeah.
Why have you not been able to do this over the last 3 years? Because for me, and it's just for me, and Daniel might not like it, but I believe if Thomas Partey had gave us at least 20 games in the Premier League over the last 2 seasons, I reckon we'd be back-to-back champions by now.
Mark, I told you the last time when I saw Partey in our last game in the qualifiers we played in Kumasi the other time, he looked fitter now. It's no longer the Partey that has those muscles. I think he has taken time to look after himself, reduce the weight, and Mikel Arteta just confirmed what I've been telling you guys. It says that Thomas Partey look fitter now. He looks more like he's looking after himself better than he used to be before. Mikel Arteta said in the press conference, this is the best he has seen Thomas Partey. And the way Thomas Partey is playing, I'll be surprised to see Mikel Arteta dropping for Mikel Merino. So for me, I think Thomas Partey is one player we shouldn't write off so easy, and not forgetting the fact that he's on the last year of his contract, and players on the last year of their contract try to do some shenanigans and try to perform
Yeah.
your way to get a new contract. So I won't be surprised to see Thomas Partey back to the very, very best of Atletico Madrid, Thomas Partey. So,
Yeah.
I hope so. That's what we all want because he is quality.
so will
There's
you
no
give?
doubt.
So will you be happy for an extension? 2
I
years
would be
extension?
happy. Yeah, I
I
would be
don't know. I
happy.
don't know about 3 years
No, 2
because
years.
he's aging.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, I mean, look what he's doing, right? Arteta's doing. He's bringing off Partey and he's putting on in Weary
Yeah,
or Scully, so he's,
exactly.
do you know what I mean? He's bringing those kids in,
See,
to go on. Yeah.
the only thing I was going to say, see, the thing that would piss me off, Daniel, and I'm going to be honest with this, is if he signs that 2-year extension and he goes back to being out and only giving us 6 games in a season, I will
Yeah.
be absolutely fizzing if
Yeah.
that's the case. And that is fair enough to say.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised.
He's fighting for his life right now.
But
His
I
life
wouldn't
right now.
I wouldn't be sorry to cut you off, man, but I wouldn't be surprised if he turns up exactly as you have predicted.
I hope
I'd
not.
be mad. I would be mad
Yeah.
because last season I was raving for him to go.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see him this season because of the way he was playing, and then all of a sudden he's become a daddy. He's looking after himself. So yeah.
No, you're right. Seamus, you're 100% correct. And that is, where has this Thomas Partey been? This guy was never injured at Atletico Madrid. Never injured.
Yeah.
And he comes to Arsenal and he is just, has been, honestly, and he is so good. That is the frustrating thing. He is so freaking good.
Yeah.
I actually don't think there's a better player when he's at his peak in that position in the world right now.
Yeah.
I honestly think he is that good. And that's what makes it even more frustrating. It really, really does.
Okay, I'm not sure if I'm the only one doing this, right? But I have this anxiety because if you go back to our game against Southampton in 2023, I think it was.
Don't. I remember.
And we were down. We were down.
Yeah.
I'm fearing that because I call it the nemesis, our nemesis team, because it basically they're a boogie team for us, and we went into that game so confident that it's only Southampton, it's the doddle for us, and then look what happened. We were lucky that we ended up with 3-3. We could have easily have lost that game.
Sema,
Yeah.
Bolton Wanderers used to be our bogey team, right or wrong?
Yeah, but we're going back to 70s, 78, I think.
Whatever you want to call it, whatever year you want to call
Yeah.
it. Bolton used to be our bogey team. You have to understand that this Southampton team right now is not the same Southampton team we used to know. This Southampton team right now wants to play football. And when you want to play football with Arsenal and you're not up there in quality, you're going to get spanked. And don't be surprised to see his funny scoreline tomorrow, like 6-0. Don't be surprised.
Okay. I mean, but that team has changed, right? They had
Yeah,
24 players out, 24 players in.
That team has changed, and the philosophy of that team is not the same philosophy this team are currently on. So definitely, in my preview, in my mind, I'm not seeing the Southampton of old. I'm looking at the Southampton who has played their last 5 matches without a win. I'm looking at Southampton team who has considered 3 goals to Bournemouth. I'm looking at Southampton team who has considered 3 goals to a shit Manchester United team. I'm looking at Southampton who has considered 3 goals to Brentford. That's Southampton we're going to play, and that's the Southampton we're going to beat tomorrow. I'm not being arrogant. I'm just being confident.
No, I agree with that. But what I feel is though, it's all about the mentality of going into the game thinking, oh, Southampton is a doddle. It's an easy game for us. And then, we do something really silly, or we're not on the ball from the get-go and we get caught out with something really silly, because don't forget, these teams...
We do that.
Yeah, and these teams are going in. They're doing their homework. They know it. And then there's a set piece. This is what's going to happen. Well, what they didn't know was how Saka was going to play the ball low, and we'd get that goal, against
No,
PSG. So, but that is my fear of
yeah,
us getting caught into that.
Seaman, you're absolutely right. We were flying even was it last season? Yeah, it was last season. We were flying going into the Bournemouth game at home, and Bournemouth were really, really struggling. Was
Yeah.
that last season? It was it?
No, I think it
No,
was
No,
two
more. I
years
think
ago.
years
that was
ago.
2 years ago. But I
Two
think
years ago. Yeah,
yeah, you're talking
but
about the Villa game at home and
yeah,
West
even
Ham
the
at
Villa,
home.
even them. It's we were flying, but we are capable of doing silly things. We
Yeah,
are capable, especially at home.
yeah,
See, away from home, we don't seem to do it, but at home,
yeah,
we are more than capable. So I do see that. But when you mentioned that about Southampton, it actually brings back nightmares for me because 2 years ago, we went through a cycle where we just won every game, and then we would either lose or draw 3 games on a trot. And
yeah,
Southampton was sandwiched in that period and ended up costing us the league at the end of it. They're just like the games. So Arsenal are, you're 100% right to be concerned
yeah,
because the best defence in Europe, and we played Leicester last week and we conceded 2 goals. Last season, we played Luton and they scored 3 goals. It's like it doesn't even make sense. It
yeah,
doesn't even make sense.
yeah. It
So we
doesn't.
are capable as a club against these lesser sides to do the unthinkable and hold out for like a 0-0 or a very difficult ground away from home
Yeah,
against a big six side, and then play one of the bottom half teams and concede 2 or 3 goals.
yeah,
It's Arsenal through and through. That it is.
yeah,
One of the best thing that happened to Arsenal was playing that game last week. That result against Leicester City is the best thing I
yeah,
think that happened to us this season because it makes the player it makes the player understand what Mikel Arteta wants from them.
yeah, yeah,
Because if you look at the game against PSG, after going 2 goals up, they shut us shop. Like you're not going anywhere
yeah,
because
Yeah.
the PTSD of the Southampton game come into play. You are leading 2-0 at first half, and this is what happened in second half. So you have to put your concentration. You have to be on point. If not, these guys are European giants, and they can punish you at any time. And
So,
now,
here's a question for you, Daniel, and see if you don't mind.
no, go ahead.
Here's a question for you. Do you think, right, because you're absolutely right about PSG, I thought that was so professional and showed how high our standard is. You
Yeah,
got that bang on, Daniel. So my question is, when we're playing in the Premier League and we're playing against the lesser sides, do we go too much forward? Have we not got the balance correct between defending and attacking? Because Leicester, the Southamptons, your Bournemouths, they scored goals against Arsenal, especially at the Emirates.
mm,
So are we struggling a bit to find the correct balance? Maybe we're too much attacking. I don't know. I'd just be
I
interested to
don't,
get your thoughts on that.
the owner of the game demand Arsenal to have more of the ball possession, being more on the front foot because it's expected that Arsenal is going to win against the teams like Leicester City, against teams like Bournemouth, against teams, those teams in the middle table and downwards. It is expected that we are supposed to win those teams. So that's the reason why you see us trying to be more attacking. And when you are more attacking, you are susceptible to transition. And if you look at the goals we concede, the first free kick was a transition ball over the top, and there was a free kick. The second goal, same thing. It was a counter and back the switch ball to the back post. So because we are on the attacking side more whenever we're playing this lesser team. So there's a possibility of us conceding goal. Unlike when we play these big teams, like you want to say it, because now we are being cautious. We will not go front as much as we want because you see Bukayo Saka and the likes of Martinelli play more of defensive. But when we play this lesser team, you see them more of the attacking. And when they are more of the attacking, it gives space for these guys to run into for counter. So that's the reason why I don't think there's a problem with the balance. I just think the kind of game we play and the opponent we play determine how the players are going to take the game. That's just what I think. I don't think there's anything in regards to the balance. That's not the problem.
I mean, one of the things that I've noticed, and we noticed that very well in the Leicester game, is that they scored the third goal, but they didn't stop. They still were going for the fourth. They were still fighting the battle. So this is not something that we used to see last season, and it's happening here. And same with the PSG game. They were still trying to, even though they had less possession, but they were still fighting for it. So I don't know whether that is the whole psychology again, or the new tactics that's coming in. What are your views on that? Either one, Mark or Daniel.
Daniel, what you take that one?
Uh, uh, I don't really know how to phrase it because it's kind of confusing for me. I just think the players right now, they have the mentality because of probably what the coach tried to tell them in the dressing room at halftime, that you need to kill this game as early as possible,
Yeah.
because if you don't kill the game, you exhaust a lot of energy towards the ending of the game. And if this game is wrapped up within 60 minutes, you're going to come off so other players can come in. But that's the reason why you see them whenever they score one, they want to score two, score three as much as possible, because the latter part of the season we're going to need a lot of energy, and
Yeah.
the easier you can win this game, the better for you towards the ending of the season. That's why I think they are trying to kill game as early as possible and trying to go for more goals as early as possible. And don't forget, goals may likely count at the end of the season, like he almost did last season. So
Yeah.
that's it.
I don't know if you guys ever watched the bench cam on the games.
Watch it every week. I love it.
So have you seen the one where in the Leicester game where they're doing a set piece and the set piece coach is there and Arteta's behind, and obviously the camera is focused on the faces, so you see Arteta coming to tell the guy what to do, and the guy he turns around and he says to Arteta, "Don't worry about it." And you're like, wow, he just spoke to his boss that way.
I didn't.
The fact is that he knows he's bloody good, right?
Yeah.
And he's doing it right. So, and there's Arteta trying to put his 2 pennies worth in it. It's like, let me do my job, mate. I'm doing. And now they've all signed apparently they've all signed new contracts. So
brilliant.
At least we know they're going to stay there, not bugger off to Man United or somewhere else,
In the words of Roy Keane, it's your job. That's your job.
Oh my God, Roy Keane, what's your job?
So it's
Roy Keane who?
Yeah. He's trying to make the manager understand that this is what you pay me for.
Yeah.
Now let me do the work. Let me end my stuff. Let me end my pay. Probably that's why.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen the clip anyway. I haven't seen the bench cam.
You should watch it. It's quite. He might have to start putting his hand on his mouth, because if I can pick it up, then loads of people are probably picking it up. But the good thing is that we know that this season the league could be so tight that it could come down to goal difference.
Yeah.
Especially at Chelsea putting away, with Cole Palmer on a high at the moment. So, who knows?
You guys are looking at Chelsea as a league contender.
No, I'm not. But I'm just saying goals. I'm not putting them. No, no thanks. Sorry, that's a bit funny. No, but with Liverpool as well on a roll. So even though they're not got so many goals, but still, if you look at the table now, even there's a point or two, but it's the goal difference that's keeping us apart. So.
See, man, I don't think the goal difference you've got anything to worry about. I honestly believe you could record this, clip it. I don't care. We're winning this week by 10 points minimum this season. By 10 points minimum. Honestly, Man City will not even get close to us, and Liverpool will not. Anyway.
I just had a notification from my LinkedIn. It says I should follow Gary Neville. No, seriously, it just dropped off LinkedIn. It's like, follow Gary Neville. I was like, okay, let's follow him.
Gary who?
Yeah,
Gary
who?
Do you know what was?
Oh,
Do you know what was funny? That like these pundits, and I know that I'm diverting away. Sorry, I do apologise, but these pundits came out and said that Arsenal parked the bus against City. We shouldn't have defended with 10 men. All this, even though it took Man City the last kick of the game to even get a draw out of it, and then Man United do the exact same, go down to 10 men, and look what happened to them. It's just comical. It's like, Gary.
yeah,
Do you know what? The day that you were Valencia manager, you showed me, mate, how good you were.
yeah,
Keep your opinion to yourself, honestly.
yeah.
But it is comical. It is comical.
So one of the things I wanted to touch on, which I read about as well, is the referee,
Oh,
Tony Harrington.
my favorite topic.
I
Yeah.
don't know him.
Well, apparently, so
When you don't
he has,
when you don't know the names of the referee, they tend to be good.
yeah.
Yeah,
So this
that's what
this
should
guy, he's a new face, okay, and he has been refereeing in the Premier League since December 2021. He has done 22 games, but out of the 22, the last 3 have been this season. And this season alone, he has given 11 yellows in 3 games. He's given 11 yellows and he's awarded 2 penalties. How do you think we're going to fare up with this?
Did they
See
give a yellow
that?
for kicking the ball away?
But
What?
that's
Did
but
they
you know
give
what?
did they give a yellow card for kicking the ball away?
It didn't say that, but it just said he dished out 11 yellow cards and awarded 2 penalties in these
Yeah.
3 games he's done this season. Out of the 6, he's done 3.
This sounds like a referee that's trying to make a mark and a name for himself.
Yeah,
So he's doing it by the letter of the law. It's going back to when you say the referees, there is common sense has to come into a game. They have to manage a game,
yeah.
not destroy it. They're there to manage a game, and that is key word. So it sounds like we're not going to
Well,
get that tomorrow.
we
So
can kind of see about, if you go back and just look at that Man United game against Spurs, and now Fernandes has had his card rescinded. So but that doesn't help Man United, does it?
no, of course not.
So that killed the game there. I mean, this is what I don't like. This is something that I'm thinking. You know what? This guy's just going to dish him out and try and get one of our players sent off again.
I hope that's not the case, but this is see. I said this on various other podcasts as well. I've been really consistent with this. If we want to win the league, we have to raise our mentality, and it is. I know it sounds horrible, but Man City players will kick the ball away and they won't get a yellow. Arsenal players will get that yellow, so we need to not kick the ball away. And
Yeah.
and I know that's easier said than done. I know, right? If I was on the pitch, I'm sure I would do it. I'm sure I would do it. So it is easier said than done. But for these guys to raise up to the next level, and I blame Declan Rice for getting that second yellow and getting sent off. I did blame him because he should not have touched that ball. It's not the referee's fault. It's in the law. It's just the law gets applied to Arsenal, and that's the way it is. So we have to.
See, part of me, Mark, thinks that at that point, I would have thought that Declan was actually passing the ball back to the other player.
No, he kicked out for one. He kicked off the pass. See, we can't be that biased. But no, he touched it. He touched the ball.
Yeah.
He only touched it, and it went like 3, not even like 2 yards. It was off the pitch. And obviously the referee's given it. And I'm not going to swear on tonight's podcast. I promised myself I wouldn't swear. So, however, you will see other teams do this, and nothing will happen whatsoever. You'll see other players kick the ball like into the stands. You'll see a 90-yard kicking it down the opposite end of the pitch. Nothing will happen. But for me, I don't want to concentrate on the referee. I want our players to concentrate on them.
Yeah.
Be better, be bigger, have a stronger mentality. Let the referees do what they're going to do. You be better. And it's as simple as that. And again, it's about mentality. We took our chances in the first half before Declan done that. I'm not trying to revert back to that game. I'm just trying to explain the mentality. If we took our chances that we had in that first half, even with 10 men, we would have won that game. And we didn't. But we didn't take care of business, and we ended up drawing the game. So just our mentality has to just rise up just that extra wee bit. So
no, I agree with that.
I'm probably being a bit critical of the players, but I just that's just where
well,
I'm
I suppose
thinking.
if you're, like they say, once bitten, twice shy. Third time, just don't do it.
Yeah.
So I suppose it's they just need to learn it. But the great thing is that you do have the players coming out. Like we're going back to just a little bit the fact that they're already talking about, we're going to win the league this year. We're going for it this year. We're gunning for it. And the confidence is showing on it. But it only takes one player on the pitch not to fit in, right? And I see Thomas Partey as that player. I don't know about you guys. How do you fare it? Do you see anyone that's not on the, on that full level yet, or everybody is on that level? I just see him as that one player that will just not run for the ball, or because we see Martinelli, he's running back, he's chasing it if if he's made a mistake. Trossard's constantly, like he was brilliant, but I just don't. I see Partey sometimes not doing it, and this could be a game where he could be a bit relaxed. Let's say, I want to say bad, but I would say relaxed. How do you think, Daniel? Look at him. He's like, what is she saying?
I don't want to sound like a Thomas Partey agent or Thomas Partey PR team.
Okay.
So
you're trying to sell it to me.
You're
selling it to me, are you?
See, but I saw the sweat dripping off his head when you were speaking. I saw it. He's like,
Thomas Partey is my brother, so I don't want to sound like a PR team. But I think if you say towards the ending of the game, Thomas Partey tends to fade out. Yes, I'll agree with you. But if you look at the game against Manchester City, Thomas Partey was our best player.
Yeah.
Going to the game against Tottenham, Thomas Partey was one of the best players in that game. Yeah. Even the game against Brighton, which a lot of people were complaining and saying it was a fault for the goal, which I still stand and say the player who was at fault for that goal was Gabriel and Saliba. But a lot of fans, they want to shop me, they want to eat me raw because they think I'm on Thomas Partey PR team, so I'm working hard to sell the Thomas Partey agenda as one of the best players for Arsenal. But Thomas Partey definitely is getting old. He's no longer that Thomas Partey of Atletico Madrid. So it is expected players like Thomas Partey would not be able to run as he used to run when he was young and when he was in the team in Atletico Madrid. So I don't want to say you're wrong, because to an extent you're right to say Thomas Partey is not the Thomas Partey we used to know before. But I think this season is going to be a wide season for us. A lot of players which we think are not there, are not part of the team, are going to shock us. And the likes of Leandro Trossard right now, I don't think Mikel Arteta will want to play that game tomorrow without Leandro Trossard in that team. So, but if you're told 4 weeks back that Leandro Trossard is going to start the last game, he's going to start against Manchester City, is going to start against Tottenham, you said, hell no. But let's just see.
So do you think we're missing Ben White?
Yes, I think we're missing Ben White because of Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, because they really do gel, right? They really they kind of they're telepathic, so they kind of know what each other's going to be doing. And right now, I don't think Calafiori is doing. I mean, he's fantastic at what he's doing, but he's not. You know, he doesn't have that telepathy yet.
Yeah, most especially when it comes to Ben White playing the ball inward for Bukayo Saka to just run into it. I've not seen it the last 3 games or so. So that's why it's one thing to miss Martin Odegaard, because Martin Odegaard, Ben White and Bukayo Saka are like a triangle together. They move in synchronization. So missing Martin Odegaard is one big thing for Bukayo Saka, and taking Ben White out of the equation again is a huge it's a huge drop off for Bukayo Saka because Ben White has an understanding when to go out, when to go in, and when to invite into the midfield, and when to play the ball inward for Bukayo Saka to run into. So I believe the team is missing Ben White because of the input and impact he has on Bukayo Saka's game. And when Bukayo Saka is on form, Arsenal is on form. So that for me, I think Arsenal.
Yeah.
Not I'm saying Urine Timber is not doing well. I'm not
No.
missing Urine Timber, but I just think Bukayo Saka is missing Ben White, and if Bukayo Saka is missing Ben White and not playing to his fullest, definitely Arsenal as a club, Arsenal as a team is missing Ben White.
Yeah. What's your take on it, Mark?
I agree. I think that the same issue happened with Martinelli last season, where you take that pod away from him, like Granit Xhaka in the left eight, and then we had Zinchenko, who was playing most of the games at left back. When you take these players away, it does have a major impact on the wingers, and I think Martinelli badly suffers. So I do see Saka's that good. He's still producing. It's like his GA is still there. I do agree with what Daniel's saying. You probably get a bit more out of him, especially with Odegaard there, or Ben White doing overlaps. So maybe the understanding isn't there. But yeah, I think we are missing Ben. But my fear is, see, my fear is, and I have had to ask myself this question, since we're playing Southampton, we're bringing up Ramsdale, after what Arteta did with Ramsdale, with David Raya, is Arteta going to do the same with Ben White? Before, I would say no chance.
Yeah.
Now, I'm like, does he see something I don't?
Well, that's the rumours I've heard, that because Ben White supposedly was supposed to leave Arsenal last season.
Right, I never heard that.
Yeah, that's the rumours that I'd heard, that he was meant to be going last season, and because we had the injury crisis and that, that's why Ben stayed on. Otherwise, Ben would have gone. He would have been sold. But that's just a rumour that I'd heard, and and hence now here we are. If you look at it, the scenario is kind of like the same as Ramsdale, isn't it?
It is 100%.
I don't think we should be treating Ben White to.
Oh no, I'm a big advocate. I'm fan, huge fan of Ben White.
I'm going back to what Mark, the question of Mark saying if Arteta is gonna. One thing you should understand: Mikel Arteta loves Ben White, loves Benjamin White. Apart from loving Benjamin White does everything Mikel Arteta wants. Mikel Arteta told you that Benjamin White is one player that will run through bricks for him, even though he's injured. And the impact Benjamin White has on the team is audible to the blind.
Yeah.
So
I would say that, but I would have said the exact same thing about Ramsdale. Ramsdale done next. Honestly, Daniel, there was not one Arsenal fan. There was not one Arsenal fan when Ramsdale was in goal for us that said we need to upgrade our goalkeeper. Not one. Not one.
But we all know Ramsdale has a flaws in his game.
I get that.
Which you cannot tell me right now. There's a flaw. Which
Daniel,
flaw?
Daniel, I get that, but so if you're saying what flaws with Ben White, I don't think there is a flaw. However, if Arteta sees something that we don't, maybe he does see a flaw, as he sees something that he would prefer is not the case. Maybe he prefers an inverted right back to play
Benjamin
rather
White.
than. Ben can do that. I love Ben White. I don't have anything bad to say against Ben White. I hope he stays at Arsenal.
So Mark,
I am being skeptical.
If you're asked right now between Benjamin White and Aaron Timber, who are you going to pick? Arsenal is playing the Champions League final today against Southampton. Who are you going to pick?
Ooh.
Benjamin White and Aaron Timber.
But that doesn't. I get okay. Right now, on form, it would be difficult. It would be a difficult choice because I think Timber coming back from an ACL and he's only played a handful of games. I think he is at that level, so it is a very difficult choice.
Yeah,
I would probably edge Ben White, But what I am saying is,
Probably, Mark, you see, you probably edge Ben White. Ben White, who was the best right back. Ben White has been one of, if
I
not the
am not
best
saying,
right back in this
listen,
country for the
I
past
am
two
not, I
seasons.
am not saying, Daniel, I am not saying that he is not. I agree. I think he is possibly the best right back for England.
Mm,
Right, I would honestly go that far. I am saying Arteta sees things that we do not see.
yeah.
He is upgrading this team. I'll
Then
give you, for instance,
let,
Daniel, I'll give you, for instance, last season we conceded our least record amount of goals ever. We all knew that we needed to ship players out and we needed to go and get maybe a striker or more attacking players. What did Arteta do? He strengthened the defence. It's actually genius. It's genius.
Yeah.
It is absolutely genius what
do you know
Arteta's
why?
done.
Do you know why?
So I'm honestly, I am not trying to second guess this manager because I have no idea what he has next.
Mikel
Mm,
Mikel Arteta wanted to boost our attack with the signing of Benjamin Sesko. Because the deal wasn't possible, there is nobody. Mikel Arteta and this Arsenal management team, there's a specific way of signing player. If you're not, if you do not fit into the puzzle, into the cog, they're not going to waste money. They're not going to sign you,
no.
no matter how expensive you are. Take for instance, Declan Rice. When have you seen Arsenal sign player of £105 million before? Never in my lifetime. I've never seen Arsenal break a transfer record on signing players. Why did they go for him? Because it fits perfectly to the call. Benjamin Sesko was on the radar of Arsenal. They wanted to sign him. The deal could not work out. What did Mikel Arteta do? Finally, okay, he thinks, okay, fine. If I cannot bolster my attack, then I have to strengthen the defense, knowing fully well that we scored our highest goal in a season last season. I will consider the least good. So if I can shut shop for the games against these smaller teams where against these big teams where we considered some amount of goals and so consider some goals which we shouldn't have considered, then probably those draws like the game against Aston Villa, which we if we had add on to play that a goalless draw between Aston Villa, the two legs would have ended up winning the title last season. But now it's decided, okay, fine. This small margin of not considering goals in the game whereby the margins are tight. Instead of losing the game, you get 1 point from the game. So
Daniel,
that's
but
what
you're
I think.
explaining,
But
Daniel,
no,
you're explaining my
but
point.
yeah, I'm explaining your point. That's I'm going back to what you were saying. Benjamin White was part of this Arsenal defense that was magnificent last season. So there's
I
no way
get
you're going to
that.
tell me that Mikel Arteta sees something all of a sudden in Ben White that he doesn't like, that in Jurgen Timber, who has been injured for over a year now because he just played how many games for Arsenal? Four,
I
5 games.
Daniel, what I'm saying is don't be listen, I am like you and like every other Arsenal fan, I've studied my football club so much. There is not a day goes by where I'm not checking everything regarding Arsenal. There's not a day goes by. It is
Rightly,
on my brain 24/7.
rightly so.
No, and it is. It's on my brain 24/7. What I am saying is I don't understand this manager anymore. He is surpassing anything that I could have thought that
Benjamin White is injured, for God's
but
sake, Mark.
he was injured, but he came on at half time against City.
Even before the game, it was reported that Benjamin
Answer
White was
that.
carrying
Yeah,
enough.
he was
That's
injured.
what
He was injured, but he played 45 minutes against Man
because
City.
yeah.
Explain.
Did you listen to Rob Oden interview 2 or 3 years ago about Benjamin White when he was talking about they were asking him which player he would want to go into a war with. He was saying uh, Benjamin. He named Benjamin White. Benjamin White is that player, even with an
Daniel, we're
injured
not
right and
disagreeing.
left leg with crutches. If you ask Benjamin White to come into the pitch just to do a job, not minding the injury, is going to come into the field of play. That's the reason
I get that.
Benjamin White didn't tell Mikel Arteta, didn't tell the medical team he was having a knock. There was a scan that was done because of how he was limping in training. That's why they realized that probably there's a knock on his knee, and they went to do a scan and find out that morning of the game that Benjamin White has a knock. That's why Benjamin White didn't start again. Not because Mikel Arteta thinks Benjamin White is
But
not.
then he got brought on at half time.
Yeah, because we
Played
have
45 minutes and then he gets dropped for the next game.
he wasn't dropped. If he was dropped, you will see Benjamin White on the bench.
And Daniel, also I'm saying to you're making a valid point, and I know, and I've heard Benjamin White will take injections and he will play through pain, all the rest of that. I personally don't want rid of him. I want him to stay at Arsenal Football Club. I love the guy. I think he's fantastic. I love his shithousery. I love everything about Ben White. He's a really nice looking guy as well. Which obviously, Sammy, you must enjoy. But I love everything about this guy.
No,
However,
I don't get me wrong. I love Ben White, and I am a big advocate for him, and I love his partnership with Saka. They are a duo. They come as a duo. They are a duo.
Yeah.
I understand what Mark is trying to say, because this is football at the end of the day, and it's business at the end of the day. And I think we read into it because of what's happened with Ramsdale. You know, he's booming, he's doing fantastic, and then gone. You know, he doesn't play for the entire season apart from that one Carabao Cup game, I think it was. And then, you know, he's gone. And then obviously we're thinking the same thing, you know, with Ben. But I don't want to see Ben to go. But
Aaron Ramsey shot himself in the foot with that interview saying he lacks concentration if the fans are not engaging with him. So
but that was
know,
being honest.
No, you are being honest. Probably the manager have seen those. Probably the manager have seen those traits. Probably the goalkeeper department, they've seen those traits in him before, and they're trying to paper over the crack. Now you're coming out to say this in out loud for everybody to see something to pick up on you. And the managers, don't forget that Mikel Arteta was going for David Raya first before he went for Aaron Ramsey. Did you remember?
Okay, so right, we're going to that. We're going to that scenario with Ramsdale. What about the scenario now that Timber was asked in his interview with Sky Sports, I think it was, that the calendar is too packed. We're playing too much.
Mm-hmm.
The City players, I think there was it a Liverpool player also? They're talking about it. What do you think? What do you think that's saying? Because these people have contracts with the clubs. They have to play for the clubs. They can't be moaning that we're playing too much. That's their job. We go to work 5-7 days a week. If you work for yourself, I'm working 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. You know, I see my boys, they work for themselves. Same thing. This is football. That's their contract. Their contract isn't 9 to 5.
It's your job.
Exactly. So for Ramsdale to be saying that, for Timber to be coming out, it's the same sort of thing.
I'm actually upset with players coming out to see the calendar. And one thing I've noticed, whoever comes out to complain about the calendar tend to go off injured.
Well, there you go. You just answered the question. Isn't that what the manager's doing?
Rodri did it. Son did it. Timber did it. All of them.
Timber wasn't fully in, but that's fine. I'm happy about that. But no, I mean, it's just this whole thing. I mean, today I saw the interview with the WSL Arsenal manager, the ladies manager, and he brought up the same thing about the calendar and the fixtures and how the Europeans are doing it. So their teams, when they come to the UK to play us, they're fresher because our calendar is so packed that we're playing on a Sunday when, you know, Bayern, who the women are going to be playing against, I think it's in 2 weeks' time or something, they don't play on a Sunday. They play on a Saturday. So they're going to get an extra day's rest. And then, you know, the women are going to end up playing Chelsea in a shorter gap. So there's just, you know, the fixtures and are not taking into account.
I would agree with that. I think, I mean, for the player side of things, I understand it. If you add in international games and if you're at a top club like Arsenal, Man City, etc., you're going to be playing for your country. It's as simple as that. So that takes in over 70 games over a calendar year. It's over 70 games. And there is no respite. Even in friendlies on international duty, Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka get played. It's like there is no respite at all. So I understand that the players need a break. And there was a stage last season, I think it was before we played Villa, that there was 8 Arsenal players who had played just for Arsenal, not international, who had played over 40 games up to that point, and in all competitions, and Man City didn't have one over 30 games.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks volumes for exactly what you're saying and also the European, this changing the Champions League nights to a Thursday, and
Yeah.
it is honestly, it is beyond it. It's
Mark,
beyond it.
Mark, do
So
you know how many games they play in the lower league, the EFL league? They play almost
Yeah.
42 league games. They play the EFL Cup. They
yeah,
play the FA Cup. So if these guys who are on 350k a week, 250k a week,
I know that's a pure argument, bro. That's a pure argument. None of these players play for their country, and second of all,
no,
these
don't say
clubs,
no.
right?
No, these
So,
guys
and
they
then
can
on
play for
top of
their
that,
country.
no, but listen. Then on top of that, in the lower leagues, the standard does not have to be the same. The competition is not the same as
Mark,
Arsenal, Man City.
food,
So
food,
Daniel, that is honestly, seriously, bro.
football is football. When you're playing with your peers, you're competing among your peers 11v11. Even if you're playing in a grass park or you're playing in a sand park. I went to play a football game this morning. I have a team. I played a football game this morning. Same tackle you see in the feed in the screen, same tackle you also see in the grassroots park. There's no difference in because you're playing them. The only reason why because those guys have the exposure. So you now tell me people like Ivan Tony actually played grassroots football to where he is right now. Jamie Vardy, Jamie Vardy, we all clap and say Jamie Vardy, they all play from the grassroots football. If you don't start somewhere, how do you go there? So I think they are just
But
complaining
you're,
because
but you're,
they
but
want to
you're, but
complain.
you're comparing. You're
I'm
comparing
just trying to
playing at
tell you
the
90,
highest level in football
90
with the
you're
lower
gonna run
leagues. The lower leagues, Daniel.
Okay,
Mark,
Come on.
Mark,
Mark,
I'll stop you there for a minute, Mark.
90 minutes on the Champions League night and 90 minutes in the Conference League. Is there any difference within the time?
No,
What's
there's
that
no
got to do
time
with your
difference.
Verstappen?
You're still
But
gonna run 90 minutes. You're still gonna get tackle. You're still gonna get
Daniel,
kick. You're still
there's
gonna
a
get
big
red card.
difference. The Premiership players, if they get injured, they've got the doctors, they've got the scans, they've got everyone carrying them, right?
That's
They've
the
got
reason why.
the
That's the reason
physiotherapists, they've
why
got
they
the
don't have to
psychologists.
complain.
They're all there, okay? They're all there. Yet they're complaining. Yet if you're at grassroots, no one's going to come and pick them up. No one's going to give them a massage. No one's going to look after them and send them. They're going to have to go to sit in A&E. They don't have the comfort. So I get what you're saying. It's a privilege for them to be playing in the Premier League. They shouldn't be moaning and complaining about it.
Thank you, Selma. They should have been mourning like this.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Daniel,
It's the
honestly,
job. It's the
Daniel,
job.
honestly. Daniel, so what? But there is still a point of fatigue. I mean, you're playing at the highest level. I played. Listen,
You're trying to
I
tell me there's no
played.
They're
fatigue
getting
Daniel,
this, Mark. They're getting this
Daniel,
for it.
Daniel, I
that
played. I played grassroots. Okay, I played. Not now. I played. I played on a Sunday, and I was a midfielder, and I'm one of the guys that when a 50-50 ball comes up, I went in full-hearted.
were you kicked?
And I went in. This guy hit me. I hit him as well. I came off worse. I stood up because I tried to get up. I collapsed. And I collapsed. And the referee came over. I got checked. We couldn't make any substitutions. I played 40 minutes and I couldn't even freaking walk.
Did you mourn? Did you cry?
No, I didn't want. I just said that I can't wait for this game to be finished. That's the truth. That's the truth. So there is no comparison from playing grassroots to playing at the highest level of the Premier League, mate. Honestly, the standards are like so extreme. That if you're playing over 70 games, I'm not.
Well, at the end of the day, I just feel sorry for the ones that have to do all that long haul travel, like, our guys who have to go all the way over to the other continents. At least, Saka and Rice and that, they just have to go over into Europe. which is a short plane ride, whereas the others have to go to South America,
You're right.
or
The likes of Thomas Partey and stuff
Yeah.
that are happening. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
yeah. I mean that is where I would say it is unfair, but again, they're gonna if they want to play for their country, that's what. Yeah, there you go. You said it. I didn't say it. It's all about the dosh.
It's
Right,
all
so
about
guys,
the BTC.
What's that? We'll play Bayern this coming Wednesday in the Yeah, the women do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the women.
yeah, the women do. Yeah, and I think Chelsea and Man United, they asked for their game to be sort of changed. So, but anyway, let's get predictions in, right? Because we've done an hour, guys. Not bad.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah, the predictions for the game tomorrow.
I'm
I reckon
sticking.
5-0.
I mean,
I don't think I said 5-0 on the other chat, but anyway, I'm going to say it now.
That is my prediction, 5-0.
Cool.
So how come you're expecting Aaron Ramsdale to have a good game if you're predicting 5-0?
He is. I'm not.
No, I'm saying to Mark.
Because Arsenal could take. What I'm saying is I don't want him to have a good game, mate. What I want is he does not make any mistakes. I'm showing this guy respect.
Without mistakes, there's no goal.
If we take 33 shots and he saves 28 of them and 5 go in, I'm a happy guy.
Mark, every goal there's a mistake. Either a mistake from the defender or a mistake from the goalkeeper. I want Aaron Ramsey to make 7 errors tomorrow. Pass the ball to Martinelli and Martinelli put it in the back of the net. After the game, thank you for coming. Go and become good against Bournemouth, against Manchester City, against Fulham, against Liverpool. I can say yes, he was a former player. Yes, he did a lot for Arsenal by holding Manchester City to a draw, by holding Liverpool to a draw. Not against Arsenal. When you come to the Emirates tomorrow, pass the ball to Bukayo Saka, play into the empty net. That's all I am for.
It'd be nice for Martinelli to get a couple of goals. His confidence will be boosted.
Yeah. I think Martinelli is coming back. He's coming back.
So what's your prediction, Daniel?
It's going to end 4-0.
4-0. Okay. There's one thing that I forgot to ask you guys. I've seen a lot of chatter and also the pundits when they were commentating on the game, how they thought Bukayo's set piece, his second goal, was a fluke. I don't think it was a fluke. I think it was a deliberate low kick and they let it go through.
It was actually funny. No, absolutely. I actually found was that the free kick for the PSG, that you're referring to.
Yeah.
I actually heard one where they actually even said it was an indirect free kick, so it should be chopped off.
Okay.
These guys go to the absolute limit. We have the best set piece coach, arguably in the world, Arsenal Football Club, and the results are there. I said to Seamus obviously in the group chat with me, and I sent in some reactions to the Leicester game.
Oh,
We're talking about set pieces being like penalty kicks, and they are exactly that. I think it's all deliberate, Seema, for me. It's all deliberate. Yeah. And I love that. See, that free kick is one of the most sexiest, dirtiest ones that you could ever imagine. It's just so ugly. Nobody knows what to do with it.
Yeah.
Defender touches it, it goes in. They don't touch it. One of your players could touch it. The goalkeeper doesn't know what to do, and eventually it just goes in direct. It's fantastic. I love it.
But if we have to be honest, Bukayo Saka wasn't trying to score. Bukayo Saka was trying to cross the
game. He was.
No, Bukayo Saka wasn't trying to score from that position. If you look at the run, you clearly see there was a tactics for that ball.
It was a dummy because they were all expecting the ball to be fed into Gabriel.
But Daniel, I just explained that
did you see Martinelli trying to swing his leg on the ball? Did you see?
No, they jumped. They all jumped. They gave the gap. They gave the gap.
Thomas Partey was trying to claim the goal.
No.
My man Thomas Partey was trying to claim the goal.
Partey was. You can see on Partey's face that he did. But you know what? I was filming it when Bukayo was taking his free kick. So I have it on my phone. I don't use the TV one, and I scrutinized it. I have zoomed in to see it.
I explained, Daniel, that anything at all could have happened. It could have been.
It's actually a cross. If you look at the run, it's actually a cross for one
Daniel, it's not at all. There is 3 or 4 or 5 things that could happen during that free kick. One of them is it goes in directly. Simple as that. Do you know something? Honestly, we say anything tonight, or I say anything tonight, Daniel will disagree 100%. He's done it. You've done it for an hour and 6 minutes, bro.
Mark, are you trying to tell me that Bukayo Saka is trying to score a goal from that angle?
It's a possibility, yes.
Yes,
it is a very strong possibility.
PSG have Donnarumma on the post.
It's the new set piece they've not done before.
The new set piece they've not done before was the second one which Bukayo Saka played to the back post for Leandro Trossard to play across, but the ball was too much. I think the flight of the ball was too high. It was too
Daniel,
high.
They're working on more than two different pieces.
I agree. But back to the Bukayo Saka goal. Bukayo Saka wasn't trying to score. Bukayo Saka was trying to.
Let me break this down.
But I don't care. But I don't care, man.
Okay, Daniel, let me break this down. Daniel, let me break it down for you. It's quite simple. The set piece coach got Bukayo Saka and he said, when you have a free kick in this area, one of your set pieces is going to be the slow curving ball kind of going to near the back post. That's what you're going to do. And then he says to Saka, there is going to be either options. It's going to go in because all the players will jump out the way. The goalkeeper is going to be completely confused and it's going to go in the goal. Number two, one of our players, Martinelli, Thomas Partey, will attack it. They can touch it. It's a goal. Number 3, a defender will try to clear it, or a defender will not see it. I'll hit off him, and it's an own goal. These are the scenarios that get put in place.
You just made the point so easy for me that it was actually a cross.
It's not. It's a cross that could happen to, like it could be a goal, it could be an own goal, it could be anything. It is deliberate. True. It is deliberate. I have seen so many of these goals in my lifetime, Daniel.
The action of Bukayo Saka was deliberate to put the ball in a dangerous position. If the keeper comes out, then he claims it.
I'm watching it right now.
Yeah, no, the intention of Bukayo Saka was to put the ball in a very dangerous place whereby a player can touch the ball and it goes into the net. And if a player doesn't touch the ball and the goalkeeper falls for the player's going to like what exactly happened, the ball goes into the net, which I think it was a cross. And we shouldn't be shy to say it was a cross.
But Daniel,
the last time we scored a free kick was Martin Odegaard, 2022. It's been a long time. So
against Burnley, I remember.
Yes, so,
but Daniel, the thing is, the opportunity, the set piece coach has told him to put a ball in there because it could go indirect.
True.
There is a number of scenarios to go. So It's only taken an hour and 8 minutes for me and you to finally agree on something.
True, but Mike, every set piece taken is an action for a possibility to score a goal.
Yeah.
True.
Yes.
So even if Bukayo Saka plays the ball from our own goalpost into the net, it's still a goal for the Arsenal. And I'm going to celebrate it, but I'm not going to shy from the fact that Bukayo Saka was actually playing a cross into the penalty area for a player to touch or go into the goal directly for Arsenal to get a 2-0 win over Paris Saint-Germain.
Fair enough.
Okay, guys, so that's it. We are at nearly 9:15. Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure being on the show with you two, and thank you for everybody who's also in the chat and listening to us. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Daniel. And we'll call it a wrap.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Up the Gunners.
Up the Gunners.
Come on,
Let's do it.